Hello, everyone. Today we are going to talk about the research on neurolinguistic programming, NLP, and psycholinguistic mechanisms of speech manipulation in cyber discourse, a cognitive pragmatic analysis, which was conducted by Yarkıncan Adilev, Doctor of Sciences, Professor, Head of the Department of Social Linguistics, Institute of Uzbek Language, Literature and Folklore under the Academy of Sciences of the Republic of Uzbekistan, and Shahodat Usmanova, Associate Professor, Department of Applied Aspects of the English Language from the University of Uzbekistan State World Languages, and the two other teachers from the same university, Hilal Poulatkhanova and Nilufar Kıyametdinova. First of all, let's talk about the effective extractions of the research, where readers extract effective or manipulative information from words in isolation. The research problem is ongoing debate over whether speech manipulation processing relies on perceptual versus semantic mechanisms. The core questions which require the answer through the investigation is: do perceptual and semantic control modes operate separately or jointly during word recognition? And we try to find answer to this question. And the main objective of the research was to investigate how manipulative lexical input influences speech processing across letter detection and lexical decisions. Practical relevance of the research informs automated cybersecurity tools, for example, email filters or browser extensions to combat online deception. Theoretical framework and literature review of the investigation. We can say that the mental lexicon models, where manipulative input is represented through verbal, semantic, affective evaluation, and analytic stories. Modular versus interactive debate. It evaluates strict modular accounts against interactive activation models of the language. The task demand influence, we notice that it examines how lexical inputs organization depends on current reader task demands. Cross-task transfer also was taken into account, where it explores whether exposure to manipulative terms generalized to neutral contexts through semantic networks. And we note high task contrast, where compares letter detection, for example, perceptual or bottom up, with lexical decision tasks, for example, semantic or top down. The research included 32 native speakers as subjects, mostly male participants, with average 22 years range, and experimental design included was conducted. It was just within subjects comparison, combining letter detection and lexical decision paradigms. Stimuli combinations included three word types: highly manipulative, moderately manipulative, or neutral, with eight prime target pairs. And the tasks and measures of the research were keyboard-based conditional books measuring reaction time, for example, log translation, we can say, and also accuracy error rates. Statistical modeling showed that the linear and logistic mixed effects regression models alongside structural equation modeling, SEM, and AHP analysis. First of all, let's just we look through the structural equation models, as we mentioned just now. Pragmatic framing from this SEM model, intensity intensity significantly drives semantic actuation. So a semantic actuation was driven by pragmatic framing intensity. It was noticed that highly, and also the strong semantic actuation also was shown through manipulative lexical density. And the cyber manipulation susceptibility was very strongly increased by neurosemantic resonance. And a cognitive control latency reduces susceptibility. At the same time, structural equation model statistics confirm robust structural relationships between the subjects. Semantic priming and task comparison in the research findings was highly um, significant. We can say that the semantic intensity effect was a larger priming effect observing in highly manipulative pairs. For example, scam origin. It can be put versus moderately manipulative pairs, for example, offer limited. And task parity. Priming imaginative showed no significant main effect differences between letter detection and lexical decision tasks. It was just equal to 0.42. Interaction effects was just very significant by task by word type interaction, we can say, providing presence of semantic priming, and it was lower than 0.01. In constrained transfers were taken into account by meaning to frame mapping operates effectively when embedded in semantic processing, and task loss and task correlation priming magnitudes across accuracy, we can say, and reaction times showed no direct cross-task correlation was occurred. And the other subtopic of findings of this research was analytic hierarchy process AHP. So, first of all, root prioritization was just, we can say that integrated cognitive pragmatic root ranked highest overall in a normalized way 0.363. Semantic weight. We can also say that the semantic processing route followed by closely in overall priority normalized weight is equal to 0.340. Perceptual weight, perceptual processing route accounted for the lowest weight in comparison to the above mentioned two others. It was normalized equal to 0.296. So, semantic processing route dominated semantic priming stress. In numbers, it was shown as a 0.727. And integrated route shows the highest cross-task transferability. And we can just say that the dual root dynamics of these kinds of data, speech manipulation engages both automatic lower level recognition and a higher level top-down control. And semantically driven processes occur before a reader reaches conscious awareness of we can say that the deceptive intent, and findings of the research support a shared representation model where prime processing activates target semantic networks. Interactive adaptation also demonstrates that the cascade models must account for abstract manipulative meaning representations. And at the same time, we can also should note that the boundary conditions of the through the research, priming effects dissipate beyond a one-letter structural distance between prime and target. In conclusion, we can say that the core findings of the research is resistance to online manipulations is rooted in low-level word recognition mechanisms as well as top-down vigilance. Practical applications which put forward after the findings of the research informs the design of AI email filters, browser extensions, and detection software beyond surface keyword matching. Pedagogical impact of the research findings can enhances the digital literacy and the cybersecurity awareness programs by integrating psycholinguistic principles, which should be also investigated in the future as in the sphere of the testing naturalistic cyber contacts, social media posts, phishing emails, etc., by combined with neuroimaging techniques. From the cross-cultural perspective, the findings encourages expanding experimental paradigms across diverse language structures and demographic groups. So, thank you for your attention and for your time. See you next results of our further investigations on this topic.